50 definition of terms. Number 1. Jail. Jail are institution for the confinement of persons who are waiting final disposition of their criminal cases and also for the service of those convicted and punished with shorter sentences, usually up to 3 years. Number 2. Brief history of the jail. The jail is said to have originated in medieval England when Henry II ordered that the sheriff in each country shall establish of jail country correctional institution spread through England in 1166. Number 3. Types of jail. Lock up, a security facility for the temporary detention of person held for investigation for waiting preliminary hearing. Section 1. Organization. Jail shall be so structured as to include the following officer and operating units. Number Warden. The warden is the responsible for the correction, coordination, and control of the personnel, the inmates, and the program of the institution. Intelligence and investigation team. This team gather, collates, and submit intelligence information to warden on matter pertaining to jail condition, plot or plans by prisoner that may threaten the safety of personnel and of disturb the normal functioning of the institution, and those that would lead the eventual capture of the escaped prisoner. Number 8. Jail Inspectorate Section. This section inspect the jail facilities, the personnel and prisoner detainees, and submit report of deficiencies noted. Number 9. Public Relation Office. This office is tasked with the maintenance of good public relation to obtain the necessary and adequate support of the public. Assistant Warden. The Assistant Warden is the principal assistant of the warden. He keeps himself informed to be able to assume command effectively during the warden's temporary absence. Administrative group. This group take charge of all administrative function of the jail, keep record of jail properties, supplies, and equipment, of maintaining personnel. Personnel Management Branch. Responsible for the preparation and maintenance of personnel, producer, assignment of personnel, preparation of daily personnel report, monthly personnel report, and others. Record and Statistic Branch keeps and maintains an orderly record for booking, sheet and arrest report, fingerprint card, photographs, and index card of inmate confined in jail in individual prisoner jackets. Property and Supply Branch take charge of the safekeeping of equipment and supplies and the requisi- requisitioning of supply and material needed for the operation of the jail. Budget and Finance Branch take charge the financial matters especially and programming, budgeting, accounting, and other activities related on financial service. Miss Server Service Branch take charge of the operation of the daily menu, make food stuff for cases, prepares and cooks for the food and service it to the inmates and it maintain a record of daily purchases and consumption and submit of a daily report to the warden. General Service Branch responsible for the maintenance and repair of the jail facilities and equipment. It is also task which the cleanliness as well as the beauti- beautification of the jail confined. Metimus Computing Branch receives court decision and minutes Metimus and ascertains by computation computation that the date of the full completion of the service of sentence of each prisoner for his. Mitimus is a warrant issued by a court bearing its seal and the signature of the judge, directing the said jail operation authorities to receive the convicted offender for the service of sentences imposed therein. Security Group provides the system of sound custody, security and control of image and the movement. Escort Section produces inmates under proper guard into the fiscal's office court, tribunals, and the judicial and quasi-judicial or authority upon proper summon. Subpoena Section receive, distribute, and or serve subpoenas, notice, order, summons, and their other court processes directed on inmates confined of jail. Security Platoon. There are three working platoons shift which shall be responsible for the overall security of the jail compound. Admitting Releasing Unit. This is part of security platoon. It is tasked with receiving a person committed to jail and the proper release of prisoner who have served prison sentence or are released on order of component court or authority. Rehabilitation Service Group provides service and assistance to prisoner and their families to enable them to solve their individual need and problem arising from the prisoner's confinement. Medical and Health Service Branch provides the necessary medical and physical examination and image upon commitment, treats the sick prisoner during confinement, and conducts medical and physical ex- examination before their release. Work and Education Therapy Service take charge of the work, job and educational program needed for the rehabilitation of, of the prisoner. Sociocultural services take care of the social care, case work study of individual prisoner by making interviews, home visit, referral to community resources, free legal services, liaisons, work, and etc. Cap- Chaplaincy Chaplaincy service take charge of the religious and moral upliftment of the inmate through religious service, guidance, counseling service, res- responsible for the individual and group counseling activities to help inmates solve their individual program and to help them lead wholesome and constructive life after their release. Legal ground for detaining a person. One of the most protected rights and an individual to indi- an individual is right to liberty. This, this is expressly provided for under our Constitution 13. Control concept. Control involves supervision of personnel to ensure punctual and orderly movement to hand from the dormitories, places of work, church, hospital, recreational facilities and accordance with the daily schedule. Control Center. The Control Center is a centrally located and elevated facility with good field of observation. Prison discipline. Discipline is a containing state of good order and behavior in prison. It includes the maintenance of good standard of work, sanitation, safety. Self Self-discipline, not merely the ability to conform to accepted standard for individual and community life and free society. Good communication. This is an important element of discipline wherein management conveys to the inmate the things the letter ought to do and the term of image convey to the management how they feel about the program of prison. Ways of securing effective good community system requiring prisoner to the undergo admission, orientation, producer, preventive discipline. Preventive discipline involved from correction or minor deviation before they become serious violation which may be dealt with a reprimand or warning, and use when the deviation is trivial due the in ignorance, disciplinary cases, and prison. Deputy Superintendent of Custody responsible for disciplinary and punitive action. Types of report that may initiate disciplinary hearing. Behavior report includes both bad act and attitude as well as exceptionally good work habit and attitudes. Misconduct report carries every violation of law or rule, and every cases included is investigated and heard by the board. Action taken pending investigation. Pending investigation and adjudical adjudication of the cases of the prisoner may be placed in confinement. Punishment imposed of disciplinary cases. Solitary confinement frequently accomplished with dietary restriction is used in extreme cases, especially when there is danger that the prisoner may be hurt himself or other. Counsel and reprimand, a mild form of punish imposed for trivial offenses. Loss of good conduct or allowance. The the privilege itself, those that are to be earned yet because such good conduct allowance already earned by the prisoner can no longer be forfeited. Most common prison violation which necessitate disciplinary hearing. Some of the frequent violation includes climbing, fighting, homosexual practices, stealing, smuggling, and or proposition of contraband, squatting, or being unauthorized or with a pass. Disciplinary board of jail. A disciplinary board shall be organized and maintained in jail for the purpose of hearing disciplinary case involving any prisoner who violates jail rule and regulations. General and academic education. The first legal recognition of academic education as desirable, penal or reformatory institution was in 1847 when the legislative of the New York State provided for the appointment of two teachers for each of state's prison. Vocational education. Since majority of the person committed to the prison lack of necessary training and experience in a work which would serve as a means of their livelihood, and the community. Industrial and educational programs for jail. Opportunities should be provided or the image of acquire trade-related academic instruction if needed or to engage in any shop work according to these aptitudes and interests. Work programs. When labor was introduced into prison, it was regarded primarily as a means of punishment